What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 balanced. No, can't say that. That's not perfectly balanced, but well, mate, it's pretty good, close. I think you guys have really enjoyed it. It seems to we've got it nearly perfect, but there we go. The Deity Europe Air-only battle. That was the key distinguisher for this series. We're on Deity. It's the first time I've used it for an air-only battle. Suggested last time by someone. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Someone who's in like the, more into the air-only community than myself. I'm not. I'm not. I'm fine to admit I'm not the most into the whole community stuff. I'm quite, I guess, introverted in that way. Don't look at Reddit or anything like that. So, I guess that was where the idea came from. And apparently, it's like a norm. But I've always used Immortal before. But I don't mind if this has been interesting. I think it's made for some better actions. I mean, there's still been some civs. I guess maybe there was less terrible civs, although they're all dead, so it's hard to. I don't know. Maybe the mistakes were punished a bit more. I'm trying to think of some civs that just got off to really dreadful starts and died immediately. To be honest, I can't. Should we try? I'm just gonna try and find, just while this turn sort of gets underway. Norway pieced out with the Huns. Just what civs have actually died? That the Celts died, but it wasn't a dreadful effort. They were doing. They could have definitely won. I think the UK just obviously got the timing a bit better. They were pretty equal at one point, and yeah, it just ended up with Britain winning. Across Iberia and France, no one's died, have they? Germany's gone, and Poland has gone. Poland's effort was a bit tragic. Prussia as well in that case. Prussia, obviously Poland benefited from the fall of Prussia, but then Austria then took them by surprise as well. So that was a more location. I don't think that was necessarily Poland. Another Mercuria city just fell, so quickly go over here. There we go. Probably the end of Assyria's growth into Africa. I just don't really see them pushing too much inland with the units they have here, but you never know. But yeah, Poland, Germany, I can't remember, to be honest. They're never great, are they? They had 3 cities at one point. They could have easily been like a France, but it didn't happen for them. That's the case. Obviously, Austria being strong really didn't help them out either. But yeah, it wasn't like a disaster for Germany. They were in the same. Most of the civs in Europe all had 3 cities at one point. There was a point when almost all of them only had 3 cities, and they were all looking pretty equal. And obviously, it's just it's more. That wasn't so much about what the civs did. It was about who allied with who. That's how this was more decided. So I wouldn't even say Germany went out and had one of those dreadful games. Rome were alone in Italy this time. Greece, no one has gone from this region either. Yeah, no one else has gone from up here. Prussia's the only other one. I think everyone else survived. The Khazar, not great, but again, I don't know. I wouldn't say it was a complete disaster. They had a few good cities. Attila just had his units. If you're not ready for Attila when he gets those, what are they called? I don't know why I went to look to see if he had any left, just in case. The battering rams, that's the unit. I mean, Armenia are still alive. They've done what you can expect from Armenia. And I mean, now it's going to be there's no way out of this, is it? I think they might survive till the end. There's a chance, unless Attila gets planes. But for now, also, I haven't touched on this. Austria v Greece is pretty big. We'll keep an eye on that. Mercuria just reconquered that coastal city. Babylon went out with a bit of a whimper, I guess. Not the greatest performance in the world, but it was probably going to happen. Like, they got teamed up on. Similar to the Ottomans, who did put up a big fight. Like, I don't think the Ottomans was a disaster. They fell very quickly, but that was more tech related than anything else. Egypt, to be honest, I can't. Mercuria killed them, but yeah, Egypt, there was a point when they were neck and neck, and it was just luck. Mercuria a bit stronger, just a little bit, and it worked out. I'm just trying to think who else. Is there any other civs? The Vandals, they were pretty dreadful, but again, yeah, I guess Deity has definitely improved brought up the lower baseline of civ performance, and I think it's also seen anyone who was, struggling a little bit killed off a lot quicker. I think that's how I'd describe it. The Songhai were doing fine. They killed Mali, but yeah, Morocco just sort of cut them off, and I guess this is a bit of a harsh geographic formation I've sort of artificially created here, so I can understand that. And apart from that, everyone's still going. Denmark is still just about alive in the corner. I think they're the only one city civ at the moment. Carthage is sort of temporarily joining them and leaving again. as they get their city back and lose it again. But yeah, only one civ really completely on the brink of elimination right now, and I'd say that is Carthage. And even then, they're not on the brink. I think they'll survive this with 1, maybe 2 cities. Denmark seems fine. Obviously, Norway could kill them in 1 turn, so we can't get too complacent. But there's that. Walachia's proved they can defend themselves with plenty of units. So yeah, I wouldn't say anyone's on the brink of completely being eliminated anymore. We saw Byzantium obviously go last episode in the Songhai. Those civs probably were on the brink of elimination. I'm quite excited to see this Austria-Greek war. I think it should go pretty well for Austria. The land's kind of awkward, to be honest. I don't know. This should fall. It's between the mountains, though, which makes it tough. But artillery here. Austria should be okay. We'll see. Obviously, for Austria, they're not going to use their nukes, I would assume. Which, limits them a little bit. But probably best to save those. They are also definitely now, I think, probably confirmed that they should take Brussels. It just depends if they can move their units in the right way. They should grab that fairly easily, which I was not expecting them to commit so much to, but they probably should get that. There was someone else. It was Norway joining Austria against Greece, which is not so much of a... it doesn't mean much to Greece. Norway's not going to come over there. But it does mean Norway and Austria might be working together in the future, which is somebody like a Sweden's worst nightmare. Austria from the south, who have built up quite a navy now. I mean, it's still not perfect, but it would be enough to defend Copenhagen kind of thing, and just kill the boats, pick them off one by one, that sort of thing. And obviously Norway's boats as well would be able to help out, and yeah, Sweden would be in a lot of trouble if that war was to ever come. It's unlikely, even when 2 civs join forces in a war, we rarely ever see it again, so I wouldn't read into it too much, but just a thought, maybe, could happen. I mean, it's far more likely to just happen naturally, like they separately do it or something. Maybe Norway just starts winning against Sweden and then Austria joins in. That's probably going to happen. The Soviets would probably get involved as well at that point, that's just the way it is sometimes. The AI do like to bully some of the smaller civs, survival of the fittest and everything. There we go. Dedris falls for the 2nd time, I think. 3rd time? 2nd time? I don't know. It's going to keep changing hands a little bit, because Mercuria does have plenty of units. It's not like they're weak by any means, it's just that these were obviously not really prepared. In the north, all these units can help, and obviously they don't really have any boats, Mercuria. I think these may have actually been puppets when Mercuria had them. I'm not 1,000,000% on that one, but possibly were puppets already. Oh, another 1 city civ. I actually didn't even realise they were still here. The Ottomans are still here. Sorry guys, just missed you completely. But they are also then. They're not on the brink of elimination again, because they're still alive, and there's no wars against them. But obviously, Assyria, Greece, it could be a 1-turn sort of affair. If I wanted it to be. But we'll keep our fingers crossed for them and hope for the best, and hope that isn't what happens to them. We'd like to see them survive. Garamantes, this is looking good. I'm not a fan of the artillery units in the sea, but they are looking pretty good here. They should... Yeah, they're really starting to whittle through the units. This is probably going to fall once more, and that'll probably be the last time, because I don't think Carthage has enough now to get it back again. Is Morocco? No, there's maybe slowly. I guess obviously moving all of this is very congested, but I'm sure they're going to start moving their units up north. Even if they don't attack Portugal anytime soon, just having them here should be enough to send a bit of a message. Sweden has entered the atomic era, as has France. They are well behind the likes of Russia. I mean, they're still looking pretty good for technology now. All of them are pretty good for technology now. It's getting to that point where maybe we should do the results a bit earlier. I'm not going to, but if we wanted it to be perfect, I'd probably have to bring the results to turn 250. I imagine Arabia is getting really close, and some of the other civs as well. I'm just saying, Arabia's the last time we checked they were leading, but I'm sure it's close now. But you know what I mean. Like, they're probably at Tech 80 or close to it. And obviously, once they reach Tech 80, it's unfair, to keep going, because there's no real benefit. You don't get any benefits after that. So all that stuff you've put in is a bit wasted. Everyone's just catching up to you. You're not maintaining the lead. It's a bit harsh to judge it on that. Wow, these turns are really slowing down. That's for certain. Jeez. Okay, these episodes are going to get a lot longer before turn 300. That's getting to be a scary scary prospect. I'm guessing it's because there's so many civs still alive. Spain has peaced out with France, and yeah, they sort of peaced out with how the war ended. No cities changed hands in the peace deal. As far as I can see, yeah, France held on to their island, so nothing weird. Oh, poor Garamantes miss out. They did all the hard work, but Greece sneaks in and steals Utique off Carthage. The Garamantes might... Carthage, if they could get it back one more time, then I think the Garamantes would get it again. But yeah, good move from Greece to sneak in there. A war that could happen now, with Austria v Greece obviously beginning. I wonder if Rome would also consider going after Greece if they get weak enough. Just a thought. Rome's not really done much. Obviously they had a bit of success against Spain, but even then I think they took this up. No, they defended this island. It was already Rome's. And then they pieced out for Barcelona, which was impressive because, I mean, at least it was a city next to their borders, right? You know, when you see the bad peace deals, like the Antwerp to Spain one, when we saw that, it's frustrating. But if it's, you know, it makes sense, right, that Rome got Barcelona. They probably had a lot more units. They just weren't bothering to attack. So that's fair enough. I can understand that one. So Brussels did just fall to Austria. So Austria now bordering Great Britain. So a little bit more border gore, but there you go. Austria has their own bit of land out that way now. And we'll see if they can grab Versailles here. They will be expanding their border with Russia even further. And we'll see if they were to maybe push into actual Greece, they would then be expanding their borders with Rome. But we'll see. At the moment, no Rome-Austria war. Just yet, anyway. Assyria. What? They are still all Mercuria. I was like, what are they doing now? No, nothing. But no, they've been doing quite a bit. Going after Mercuria. That Lancer, poor unit. Just very... There's people in like this tank, rocket artillery, and you're just stood there on a horse like, yep, this is fun. Ooh. Okay, well, Russia is pretty much just trying to steal this off Austria. I don't think that's, you know, I don't think they'll get through this small gap in the borders. So that's probably not going to lead to much, but can Spain can't really get over either, so that should be, it's not a bad thing. But obviously, going forward, it means some more people might join. You know, Rome, there's even more incentive for someone like Rome to join now. Assyria could still definitely join in as well out this way. Wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I mean, even if they get weak enough, I think Wallachia has enough to just cause some havoc here in sort of the middle of Greece. Grab a couple of cities, you know. Take your moment while you're presented with it. Russia has put all their not all their atomic bombs, but their atomic bomb and 2 guided missiles. They only have 1. Oh no, unless there's some here. There's 2 there. 1 of their atomic bombs and their guided missiles down here, just to keep an eye on the Goths, maybe. Obviously, it's also nearer to sort of the other civs. It's also probably the least likely city to get nuked in return. Not that Russia's at war with anyone that could nuke them at the moment, but, you know, if you think about it, if you had it in, like, Moscow, just, you know, for the sake of having it in Moscow, that could go badly, because there's going to be a lot of units there, it's the biggest population. It might get nuked back, whereas this city, just, if you nuke it, you're probably going to have to go to war with the Goths as well. It's just a bit of a mess. Somehow, Armenia is still keeping up. I know they were doing okay for technology, and I guess they have a good population. I feel like the Manhattan Project is not that big a deal anymore. Well, obviously it's a big deal, but it's not a sign that you're winning the game anymore. Obviously, we've got beyond that point. But there you go, Armenia gets it, which is probably worrying for the Huns, who I don't think have it. I don't know if uranium has any bias. I mentioned in the last episode I'd been informed about the oil bias. I don't know if there's a bias to where uranium spawns. Even if it is random, it might be, you know, more likely in certain areas than others. Obviously, I think, to be honest, I don't want to say this because it sounds bad, but embargo Switzerland, world religion Buddhism might win. Embargo Switzerland, it sounds bad, but on this map there is definitely an option to have the resources spawn in like a natural place. So there's definitely a chance that there's like just way more oil here anyway. Because it's kind of trying to represent the real world. And the Huns led the International Space Station project. Nice for them. Right, I'm not going to open the info at it because that will crash the game at the moment. World religion 96, 27, 19, 29, 20. So definitely a lead. Oh, there we go. Definitely a lead for Switzerland there with Buddhism. 29 for Hinduism, 27 for Catholicism. Obviously, the Celts aren't around anymore. 23 for Arabia and Islam. 19 for Mercuria, Eastern Orthodox, and Confucianism died off a while ago. 40. What's that? 29 is basically so 56, 76, 86, add 9, 93. So the combined is just under 50. It's like 49.5% is the rest of the religions. 50.5% is Buddhism. So there's a chance it wins. It just depends how much people hate Switzerland and where people's votes are going to end up in the Congress as to how this might all pan out. We'll see. If ever, obviously, interestingly enough, Switzerland are in an awkward position because they would probably be heavily voting. They would want Buddhism to pass as the world religion. They have the holy city. However, they probably don't want to be embargoed, so they've got to definitely work out whereabouts they're going to go with that option. That's going to be quite interesting. That's what I mean. Like, I think depending on who votes for what, some civs will just vote on the Switzerland issue, and some civs will just vote on the religion issue. So it's not as clear as just Buddhism probably does have enough cities. And again, cities don't mean everything. The civs that aren't following Buddhism have a lot more cities. So I don't know how to word this. Sorry. The areas that aren't following Buddhism, so, I mean, to be fair, Eastern Europe and like Russia is, but for my point, the Middle East, the African civs have a lot more cities than the average European civ. So, for example, Morocco, because there's less of them, they're bigger, that's just how it is at the moment. So those are going to have less votes for more cities, whereas Europe has got more civs to vote for Buddhism and less cities covered in those votes. So there's actually, it might be swung a bit that Buddhism actually has a better shot. Maybe I'm misreading that, not doing everything right, maybe I'm missing something. But obviously the votes aren't necessarily related to cities. I know, obviously there are some things you can do to get more votes. Some of them, they all seem to have 5 or 6. I don't know what's caused that, but yeah. There's definitely, it's not as simple as it seems. But yeah, there's definitely a chance Buddhism could win. There's chance it would lose as well. We'll find out next turn anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. We're going to find out very soon. Austria making some progress here. It's conquering this Greek city. I think Armenia might... Oh no, it's back in the green. Looks like it's fine for now. How's this looking? Okay, so Carthage is now in imminent... I said they weren't in imminent danger. They probably are now, as the Garamantes and Greece start to land some troops nearby. Not ideal for those guys. But yeah, for Greece, this could be a difficult time too, especially if Austria wrap up quickly with this city, then they can begin to push down. One criticism of Austria, there's not much artillery. I know a lot of it was out this way, sort of. They are actually going after the rest of Switzerland. I don't know if this would work. I mean, this city, the capital, is very exposed. So I wouldn't rule it out. I don't think it's going to be the perfect... Surely not, but there's a chance that Austria grabs more here, which would be incredibly impressive as well, if it was to happen. Morocco looking pretty good. Looks like they're slowly thinning out down here, moving more and more units up north. Not what Portugal want to hear. To be fair, Portugal have got a fair few boats. They're ready to fight, particularly the crossing. Morocco obviously have no boats, so I think it would be in Morocco's favour to just conquer the African cities. And even that's going to be difficult, because obviously Portugal will just keep trying to take them back with boats, so it's going to be a bit of a mess. But once Morocco does, and they should get through those pretty easily, I would then focus on the rest of North Africa, going east, as opposed to trying to cross the Mediterranean, because they don't have any coastal cities at the moment. It's a bit of an awkward spot to be in. For now, anyway. Obviously, later on, I'm sure they'll have some. But for now, yeah, very awkward spot to be in. What the heck? Why is there triremes? I guess they ran out of resources or money. Well, you don't need resources to upgrade triremes. I guess they've just not been interested in upgrading them for money. Fair enough. Maybe they're waiting for something. Bit of a strange one. They still have access to those. If I timed things wrong, or if things really slowed down this episode, because I recorded the last one just before this, and that was 20 minutes, and this one is one turn shy of that one, and it's already at 20 minutes. So I don't know what's happened there. Obviously slowing down quite considerably, I guess. It doesn't matter too much. I'm not too concerned with the episodes getting to... If they get to like half an hour, then that might be an issue. We might need to figure something out there. Yeah, but this is definitely the slowest it's been in a while. I think we're looking at about 5 minutes a turn at the moment, which is not ideal. But there you go. There's plenty of civs alive, all medium strength. It's not like there's a few... Like, there's so many alive. I don't know exactly how many. I'm not going to open the Infraredix to find out. I'd rather count it, just so it doesn't break. Not at least till I've saved. In terms of our next look at the Infraredix, I'll do it at turn 250. But there we go. World religion, Buddhism did pass. And Switzerland was not embargoed, so there'll be lots of celebrations from Switzerland. I don't know how that managed to happen. I don't know how both of those outcomes... I thought those were like the two of the 4 possible combos. That was not the one I was expecting. That was the least likely. But there we go. Buddhism is now the world religion. I don't actually know what the world religion does. That's really bad. I think it gives bonuses to civs that follow Buddhism. And then Switzerland not embargoed. There you go. That's pretty big for Switzerland, at least. CN Tower for Arabia, which increases tourism. A little bit more culture for them. It's a good one. Maybe they're on track for a cultural victory. Obviously, it's not turned on, so they can't win. It is domination only. Try to encourage these AI to fight each other. Greece. How is Carthage looking? This could be... Okay, down a little bit. I think the Garamantes with some artillery this turn will really start to knock some of the health off of it. Okay, Austria is making slow progress. It looks like it's sort of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. With Greece obviously pushing back. Yeah, I think it's going to come back a bit and then go down a bit, and eventually it will happen. They just don't really have any siege units nearby. They have 1 artillery. That's really not ideal. Like, these paratroopers can't really do anything. The mobile SAMs can't do anything. All of their siege units at the moment very committed to Switzerland, and they are really going for it. But now Switzerland is responding properly, so that's probably going to be a bit of a halt with regards to that one. Rome, it really is now or never. I don't know why you're doing so badly. There's no reason. They're actually really strong. If you to look at the cities, all of them are pretty big. I don't know exactly why Rome is not committing. I know they've failed against Switzerland twice. Maybe the AI's got some learned helplessness issues going on or something. I don't know. Maybe they need to go to the Civ 5 psychologists for AIs. I don't know. But they're not having a good time. They're obviously not confident in their own ability at the moment. I mean, if they wanted an easy win to boost their confidence, just hop in on this Carthage war, see what you can do. I can understand not wanting to attack Greece, I guess, just because it's so many different weird random places you're going to have to fight, like in the sea, on land in Italy, and then again out this way in the Balkans. Not ideal. Switzerland, they've met... I mean, if they were to attack Switzerland now, I think they would be fine. They would probably win, just because Austria's here as well. So yeah, it kind of sucks that they're not doing too much, but it happens. How did that happen? I was told sellers could not make it through. I said I'd keep an eye on it. We looked last episode, and while I was checking, there was nothing here, but obviously things change very quickly. I said I would kill them. Now, this doesn't really matter, because Carthage are likely to die anyway. And if I take the city, it means I have to keep picking the productions, and it becomes a bit of a mess. City raising is off, just because I like the map to fill up, because if not, the AI do burn almost all the cities. It's a nightmare. So, yeah, I'll leave that. Worst case scenario, I load the in-game editor and surround it with mountains as well. Although, obviously, they could just walk through them, so that wouldn't work. I could obviously... Yeah, I guess the worst case scenario is that I just fill in every tile with a mountain. I'd rather not do that, so I'll leave them. Make sure nothing gets to it. I could always surround them with giant death robots and just kill any unit that spawns. I mean, it's a bit of an eyesore. Bit of a genocide, but oh my goodness, how did I not notice that? This distracted me. We have a huge war. Morocco versus Portugal. But yeah, Carthage, assuming the city of Carthage falls in the next few turns, it doesn't matter anyway, so don't worry too much about that one. even if they settle every bit of land in that desert, they are not going to win the game. So it's not going to influence anything really. But I will keep an eye on it. Obviously, see how the situation develops. If I just kill all their units, reset them, I could even, again, genocide ideas. We could just pop a nuclear sub somewhere in the Atlantic where there's space and just nuclear missile it until it disappears, because that's obviously an option as well. It's just easier to kill them than it is to take control of the city itself. But yeah, Morocco, there we go. Finally v Portugal. So things are going to start heating up. This next 73 turns that remain until the results. I'll try and push it further. My one concern is obviously with how slow it's going now. And this episode is already 5 minutes longer than the last one. It looks like it's really hitting a point where it's going to slow. Yeah, my concern, obviously if it's getting to ridiculous, I mean, I won't be able to proceed. The last one where I pushed it to turn 600, the whole way it was 3 minutes a turn, so it wasn't too bad. Even towards the end. But I mean, this is at 5 already, over 5 now. So we might not be able to go much beyond 300, but everyone's going to be at the top of the tech tree, so there'll be that. But yeah, we'll see what happens, but the results will definitely be at turn 300. I will get it there for sure. That will be it for this episode though, so as always, if you have enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like on the video and leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you're new to the channel and haven't already. I know only about 50% of the viewers have, so it'd be amazing if you could, if you are a regular viewer, just press that subscribe button so you don't miss anything, and so I can feel a bit better about the number. No other important reasons, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be worthwhile. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.